Hi, I'm Mateusz and I'm here today with Vikki to discuss differences between Polish and American weddings. Let me start by asking if you have ever been to Polish wedding?
I have been to 3 Polish weddings, I think.
Brought to you by Dirty Beats. Straight from the streets.
Can you tell us a difference between Polish and American?
Well, I think that Catholic weddings in the United States are almost identical to Catholic weddings in Poland. In the United States, though, and like Chuck and I are Protestants, and so our wedding was very different. They're very short. Usually someone sings a song, and always the father walks the bride down to the front of the church, and the pastor asks the question, who gives this woman to be married? And her father says, I do. And then he sits down. The pastor will say a few words about marriage, and then you take your vows, and that's it. It's over. I know in Poland you sign the marriage license as part of the wedding ceremony. We do that like after the ceremony. So Protestant weddings in the United States are very short, maybe 20 minutes long.
What about a reception?
Sometimes the receptions are similar. There's a meal, dancing, this kind of thing. I think the biggest difference that I've noticed is usually in the United States, the bride and groom leave the reception very early and they go on the honeymoon. And the guests stay and they party all night. But usually the bride and groom will leave much earlier than the rest of the guests do. And I think in Poland, usually the bride and groom stay all night with the guests also.
Is there bachelor's party or bridal shower?
We do have those. I've never been to a bachelor party, so I don't know how those go. But I know we do have that tradition in the United States. For the bride, I think it's a little bit different in America. Usually, the bride's friend will have, we call it a shower, because you are showered with gifts. So they invite your friends and friends of your family, and just a lot of ladies come and they bring a gift for the bride. Usually it's something for the home, like dishes or linens for the table, or just things that you would need in a new home. It's becoming more common for the bridal party to look like the bachelor's party, but usually not. Usually it's a kind of a formal event. They have tea and coffee and cakes and a nice ladies' time together.
Do you have a tradition in US to give to your guests bread and salt?
No, we don't do that. I like that tradition here in Poland. I think it's very nice, but we do not do that. However, our son got married about 5 years ago, and I have a Polish friend who, when I told her we were going back for his wedding, she said, "Oh, you have to have bread," and she ordered the wedding bread for me to take back to him. So he had some at his wedding, but only because of our Polish friend. It's not a tradition in the United States.
Do you have any other traditions?
Well, I don't. Maybe you have this in Poland also. After the wedding, when the bride and groom go to their home, it's a tradition for the groom to carry his wife through the door for the first time.
In Poland, we do the same.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you celebrate inside or outside mostly?
Wow, that I don't know. It's very common now for people to celebrate outside, but I think that's a newer custom. Like when Chuck and I were young, I don't know anyone who got married outside, and now many people do. Yeah.
What spirits do you drink?
Oh, that's a good question. Neither Chuck nor I drink at all. We don't drink beer or wine even. However, at our wedding, there was wine served. I think there were most. It depends. If you know, in the United States, if people have their reception at the church, then usually there's no alcohol at all. That's not very common. Most people will have, like, you know, in Poland, you will rent a hall or something. And then I think it's just like Poland. People drink vodka, they drink whiskey and bourbon, other things. And of course, champagne usually for the toasting. But yeah, Chuck and I didn't. Other than, I guess we had champagne at our wedding for the toast, and that was it. We don't drink at all.
Most popular spirit in Poland is vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always at wedding.
Yes, I remember one of the weddings we went to. There were several bottles of different alcohol on the table, on every table.
Thank you, Vikki, for the talk, and see you soon.
All right, you're welcome.